friends, I'm Hogan, author and artist over here at Fable and Script, and I can hardly believe it, but it's about time to start marketing my newest novel, which is actually releasing later this fall. This has been many years in the making. I actually started writing this book several years ago and stopped in the middle to write my last novel, which I published 4 years ago. And so the last 4 years have been full of just getting back into the swing of this current novel, which is coming out later this fall. I will be releasing the date very soon, but until then, I'm actually starting to slowly release sneak peeks and details about the book itself. Today, I actually am super excited to release the title, which I will post right here. This is not the cover, this is just the title for now. Beneath Watercolor Waves I Drown is a novel that I have been so excited to release for the past few years that I've been working on it. It has been a story that has taken a little bit longer than I thought it would to get out, but really it only makes sense because this story is one of finding oneself in the midst of grief and loss and discovering just what it is you're capable of, even when you don't feel like you're capable at all. The story itself revolves around a young woman named Ren, who is actually an artist, and due to some unexplainable happenings, she actually falls into a world of her own making, but very quickly realizes once there that it is not her world at all. This novel has been one that has really delved deep into certain parts of my own grief and loss, my own self-discovery over the years that I've had to go through just because of certain things that have kind of happened in my life. I have a tendency to kind of put a lot of my own emotional journeys into my characters, and it's basically therapy. Writing is something that helps me process and helps me put my own emotions onto the page in a way that it makes sense for me. And it's really fulfilling because by doing that, by putting my own experiences, my own emotions and thoughts out, I feel like I'm actually able to help my characters on their individual journeys. So every book is completely unique. Every book is completely what it needs to be on its own, and it always ends up being an amazing process just for me to walk alongside my characters as I see them grow and experience the story. For the synopsis of the novel, I wanted to share at least a little bit of a peek at it. This will be the first time I'm releasing anything to do with the overall storyline or baseline of the journey that Ren is going through. It was unsettling to realize just how terrified she was of her own art. It's true that all creatives experience a love-hate relationship with their art, but it's a struggle that goes much deeper than that for Ren Hawthorne. It's almost like her gift has never truly been her own, and it's certainly never been something that she's felt like she can control. But in one impossible moment between a brushstroke and the next, Ren finds herself thrown into an alternate world, and it's one she has painted many times before. She's caught and mirrored with a lush realm on the brink of a rising rebellion, where art is regarded as a rare, misunderstood, and magical gift. Those with magic are known as talented, people with unique abilities, and Ren is regarded as one of the rarer types of talented, an artist. But the longer she is stuck in this mysterious realm, the more she doubts her ability to find her way home. Somehow, in some way, it was her art that brought her to Mirrored With, and she has no idea if she has the ability to paint her way back. That's just one half of the synopsis. Ren is the main character, but there is a secondary main character that is my MMC, and his name is Tiernan. I'll be sharing his story a little bit more as I continue to make these videos and share a little bit more of my process when it comes to writing the book and releasing it this fall. But yeah, it has been quite the process. It's always amazing, and it's always so much more than I think it's going to be, just because every book is completely unique in its own right, and every book needs its own type of energy and work that goes into it. And I really can't know how it's going to go until I get into the middle of it and I get into the story alongside my characters to see where they're even going. I'm the type of writer who I think I bridge the gap between the best of both worlds. I'm a little bit of a fly by the seat of my pants writer, but I also do plan out quite a bit of the structure in the same way, if that makes sense. I kind of do both. I at least know what's happening, what I want to get to, and how I want to end the book. And I kind of structure big scenes around that. And then as I'm writing, I just fill in the gaps between everything. So sometimes it really is like I'm discovering the story along with the characters, which is a double-edged sword because sometimes it's really fun and sometimes it's a little frustrating because I just want to know what's going to happen, and I'm kind of waiting with bated breath along with them to know what's going to happen next. So I'm trying to get a little bit better at structuring in a way where I don't have as many of those hang-ups, and I am doing my best to continue to build a brainstorming and reading team that can help me along the way as I'm writing and as I'm formatting everything together, because that's one thing that I think a lot of people don't realize, that writing a book is a team effort, and it is really hard to do it on your own. So the more people that you can have in your corner to support you, read what you're writing, give you feedback on things that you're kind of struggling with or trying to formulate, the more you can have that, the better it's going to be and the easier it's going to come. So I've done a pretty good job at building my team for this book, and I'm just hoping that even with my next book, which I'm already writing, I'm hoping that I can just build that even more, so that way the process just gets easier and easier with each novel. This will be my third book that I have released, and even though there were certain aspects of it that maybe took a little bit longer than I thought they would, there were other elements that were so easy compared to my last book. And it has been a really exciting process to see how everything has kind of fallen together and developed into the story that it has become. I am super excited to share more of that process and how I got to where I am with this finished novel. I'm going to be sharing behind the scenes looks at different illustrations that I have done for the novel, because apart from being a writer, I'm also an artist. So for this book especially, I have really put a lot of work into illustrating a lot more elements than I did with my last novel. And I have a map that I illustrated for it, which I've always wanted to do. I have character illustrations that I am finalizing and formatting for print as well. And of course, the cover, which this is my second book that I've created the cover for myself. And the process was so fun and so rewarding. I can't wait to share it soon. And I have quite a bit of behind the scenes peeks that I'm going to be sharing as fall approaches and as my release date approaches. So in the meantime, I really appreciate you being here and caring enough to watch this far and to kind of hear a little bit of my story. I can't wait to share more, and I'm so excited for you to be here following along on this journey as I continue to do what I love and publish books. Let me know if there's anything in particular that you would love to hear about when it comes to the writing process. If you have any questions of what it looks like to write a book or create a cover or create character art, I would love to talk about anything whatsoever when it comes to writing a book, because it's literally my most favorite thing ever. In the meantime, if you could please leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment if you like the video, I would so appreciate it. And until next time, I'm Hogan, and I'll talk to you later.